Do you like that? I suspect in this country you've experienced that. And I like it when my neighbors do that, actually. And it's attractive. Who's cooking steaks? I just almost like, I remember, you guys are old enough, you remember Woody Woodpecker? You remember that cartoon? And he would smell this stuff, and he would kind of just pick up and just kind of float towards that smell. You remember that? How they did that in those cartoons? And sometimes I feel like that when I feel my neighbor's cooking steak, and I'm kind of like, I think I'm going to go over there and check that out. And it's kind of that kind of thing that he wants to come out of us. It's really not the odor that we have. It's not an aroma of us. It's an aroma of knowing him that comes out of us. That makes us unique and different and desirable in that sense. And that's what God is doing with you here in Zimmerman. He's spreading out the aroma of knowing him through this body to your community. It goes on to say about that in verse 15, for we are the aroma of Christ first to God. Now, it's clearly an aroma to people around us, but first, he says, this aroma rises up from us to God. And what is it the aroma of? Not the aroma of us. It's the aroma of Christ. Now, this picture here is similar. You see it lots of times in the Old Testament. The picture of sacrifice. And there you would take a bull or a goat or a sheep or whatever, and you put it on the altar, and you would, in a sense, barbecue it there. You would set a fire, and it says there in many places that the aroma of that sacrifice went up before God and was pleasing to him. It's the aroma of a sacrifice that's covering sin. And that's the pleasing aroma that God received. Now, in this sense, it's something very similar. It's the aroma of Christ coming out of our lives before God. And what is that aroma? It's the aroma of his sacrifice that has cleansed us and delivered us and made us alive. And it's him in us and with us and among us that God says, yes, that's the aroma I delight in. The aroma of my Son, the one who has delivered them and made them new and has brought them into relationship with me. That's what God is delighting in, pleased with. So, in a sense, it's the aroma of us, but it's really the aroma of Christ in us. When you come to know Jesus Christ, you're united to him. And you're united to his death. And you're united to his resurrection. So that his sacrifice becomes personal and real in our lives. And it does something. It transforms us and brings us to know Christ, to know God. And that whole process, that presence of Jesus in our life, is what God is, in a sense, smelling as he looks at us. He looks down at you and he says, yes, I delight in that because my Son is connected to you and his sacrifice is sufficient